Hi there, welcome to Wyckoff Technical Analysis session for Algorand. And Algorand, last week we talked about whether it's still consolidating, is it time for the price to surge. This week it seems like it's getting closer to the point where the launch would happen. So let's dive into the charts and see what's happening. Here we're seeing this particular wave that looks like the end of the accumulation, the backup last bar support stage. So if we take reference from here, after the sign of strength, there was a bit of fluctuation and eventually two more red candles, much like what we are having here, where the second candle is a very narrow or short body, narrow range or short body. So that's kind of getting or looking similar. And then eventually, if the price finds an equilibrium and next week it stays not lower than where our weekly candle closes this week, that may be a sign for the climb to happen. That's the positive scenario where I'm still giving it a 90% chance. This 10%, yeah, it still exists, but like if it really comes down to test the yellow and orange level, that's going to be probably across the board. Crypto isn't looking good. Let's put it this way. When that happens, that's the pessimistic scenario. Hopefully, is the scenario where maybe people trying to rebalance their portfolio and take the gain from whichever altcoin that has already shot to the moon, reallocate it to these like Algorand that are slower in their cycle, and the distribution cycle has yet to happen. So ideally, that's the perfect scenario for the bulls. Not saying the bears can win here if it really comes down, and that maybe that was already the end of accumulation, and then this SOS over here isn't really an SOS but like a buying climax, which is quite an extreme scenario but not impossible, because look at where the price entered into a distribution cycle back in 2023 to first quarter, end of first quarter, or actually early fourth quarter of 2024. That's totally possible. That we're seeing another distribution cycle, just that it's disappointing. So explain enough with the big picture. Let's go to the daily chart and see what's happening. Just quickly checking the Bollinger Band code and a squeeze. I would say a squeeze. This downward movement has basically released the energy of the squeeze where the purple got into the orange, but it's not over yet. If horizontal trading happens again, this will eventually gives us another squeeze. That means a bigger price move is on the way. But now it's still too early to decide. Back to the Wyckoff patterns, this obviously is a sign of weakness now. If I change it to a line chart, it's easier. There's a dip here, so that's confirmed. I don't want to tag another LPSY here and another sign of weakness, so I'll leave it like that, because that little bump over here, let's treat it in a simple way instead of making the chart too busy that we can't even see it. So if this really continue in a way, when we look at this, the volume isn't really that crazy, and it has been declining actually. So hopefully that's the platform for the price to eventually shoot up again. Because for the past 5 days, the price has been trading above this yellow dashed line, the horizontal one. So it's possibly potentially a good sign for the bulls. That's also the support where the sign of weakness back in early October was, and that's why we have this support line over here saying the price may come down and find support, and that's what happened in the past 5 days, and it continues to trade between the yellow dashed line and the green key level. So hopefully that's the case, that it will eventually bounce and go up for a second test, which is past the light blue key level of 0.2 line and getting up to challenge the 0.32 key level. There's not much of a candlestick pattern going on because the previous 2 rounds has already exhibited whatever it needs to show us. And once on last Friday that the price shot below this support line, meaning it has broke outside of this pattern, there were multiple indications about like a triangle, a pennant, as well as this let's say head and shoulder here plus another head and shoulder. That's why it is going to where we are. So multiple candlestick pattern happening in the previous week, but now is it going to show us like an inverted double head and then shoot back up again? That's a possibility, right? It will be exciting to see how it unveil itself in the next few days, because that for a shape to happen, that should happen in the next few days, where the price comes back to challenge the green key level of 0.24 and eventually further up. Whether or not this line will become a resistant line, let us extend to this level, because if the price really is going to bounce up, that's where it will hit, and let's see whether this line really has become a strong resistance and become a new trend towards a new second test or up thrust. So hopefully that's the case for the bulls. For the bears, obviously maybe you want it to come down to the selling climax. I won't eliminate the possibility, but in the daily charts, that's not likely the case. It should still be this blue scenario, unless it's the less likely chance that I mentioned, that is basically a buying climax right over there instead of sign of strength. I truly hope it's not the case. If that's the buying climax, I mean, the bulls will be very unhappy, because what are low peak over here? What happened to Algorand, right? It's basically peaked at a point same as March 2024 and can't regain the ground like what happened back in November, December, or even till January this year. That level, at least it traded above the purple key level of 0.0 for a long period, plus some sideways actions between the blue 0.32 and the purple. This time there was only slightly like a short period of time in mid-July that it has traded above that blue level, and that's why I said it's disappointing if this is really the tip or the top of the distribution cycle. Hopefully that's not the case, but let's wait for the time to reveal what it really truly is. Finger crossed.